Yo, what is happening, guys? Welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting Challenge. You can tell by the title and the thumbnail. Today, we are going to be talking about King Kenny versus Whindersson Nunes in the Kingpyn semi-finals round 2, which is actually happening this Saturday. It got cancelled, but now it's back on, and I'm excited for King Kenny had to beat my mate Nate to advance. Whindersson Nunes had to beat Philippak to advance, and now they are going to fight. There's a lot of questions around this fight. I think it's going to be a very good fight, and it is the case of Kenny has the experience of Whindersson Nunes, but Nunes proved that he has a natural talent for boxing, and he clearly worked hard. So how's this fight going to go? That's the big question. So that's why we're going to rule out their pros and their cons today. So our first, King Kenny pros. He has the reach, he has the height, he has the experience, he has the best jab in YouTube boxing, in my personal opinion. I'd confidently say King Kenny has the best, if not one of the best, jabs in the YouTube boxing scene, hands down. He's fought tough opponents. He's fought FaZe Temper, tough opponent start. I know he got knocked out by Slim. I know he got knocked out by KSI, but that's like different level type stuff. He fought FaZe Temper. He didn't take it easy. Then he fought FaZe Sensei. I thought that was very good. I personally thought FaZe Sensei won, but that doesn't matter because King Kenny came in and he took it. Sensei wasn't willing to put the pressure on, and Kenny came and took that fucking fight as best as he could, and it was as simple as, Kenny didn't take an easy way out. He fought them too. He fought DK Money. He disposed of easy competition as he should when he faced DK Money, and that is it. He's never taken really an easy fight type thing. He's just started off with tough opponents, and he's did that. He has good footwork, and Whindersson Nunes, that his pros, could they be his upfall against King Kenny, or could they be the downfall? That's the question. Whindersson Nunes, looking at his pros, what comes to mind is, I think Whindersson Nunes, he has good patience, he has a nice jab, he waits for openings, he knows when to stick and move, he throws well selected shots in combos, good footwork, changing angles, and he has the crowd behind him, as we saw in the Kingpyn thing. The crowd was behind him. After he fought, the whole crowd left. After him and Puka fought, the whole fucking crowd left. He knew, and I think in Dublin it's going to be the same. I think it's going to be a lot of Brazilian people out to back them too. So I think he's going to have a crowd as well. I know what you're thinking. You named kind of more pros for Nunes than you did for Kenny, but that is because we're going to talk about their cons now. Because this is going off. Kenny's pros and cons are coming from all his fights, and Nunes's pros and cons are coming from his last fight, which is against Philippak. Now, they could have completely changed within the past, 2-3 months since the last Kingpyn tournament happened. But, who knows? But this is going off those fights. We're moving on to King Kenny's cons. Now, Kenny cons is, he doesn't have a killer instinct sometimes. That's it. I can't really think about many cons to do with King Kenny, aside the one that ruins everything, because he doesn't have many cons, but he has one big con, which has cost him many fights. Against FaZe Temper, I think he did well. FaZe Temper obviously won. They got overturned the way it should. He won against Sensei. I personally think Sensei won that fight, and I think Kenny could have went in there and taken it properly. He cemented it like as a win, but he didn't. He went against DK Money, knocked him out, as you should. Then he fought Raksu, and I think it shows that Kenny's biggest issue is he does not have a killer instinct sometimes. When he fought Raksu, every single thing was in his corner to win. Raksu won, and Raksu deservingly won because he came forward, he went for him. He was not a better boxer than King Kenny by any means necessary. No disrespect to him, he was not a better boxer. He just had a dog in him. He had the work ethic, and he deserved that win. King Kenny wondered why he lost on the night. It's because you just threw jabs, and there was times you didn't throw anything. King Kenny sometimes freezes up to the point where he doesn't throw jabs, which is his best weapon. He doesn't throw combos. He waits the counter, then doesn't counter, or he does misses it and then just doesn't counter again. He doesn't have to have many cons, because the one con he has just collapses the entire thing that he's built. And that is the thing, is whenever he was fighting my mate Nate, the question was, what kind of Kenny are we going to get? Are we going to get the hesitant King Kenny? that doesn't want to throw jabs, that doesn't want to throw combos, that does not want to really box. He wants to be so defensive that there is zero offense? Or are we going to get the King Kenny versus my mate Nate, which said, I'm done with the patience shit. I'm in here to win. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to use my jab. I'm actually going to come forward. Which one are we going to get? That's the question. But that is his biggest con. Moving on to Whindersson Nunes' cons. It is lack of experience compared to King Kenny. He can be flat-footed, and he doesn't really move his head whenever he's up close and starting. I don't think there's many real cons for Whindersson Nunes. At least I can say after one fight. But I think, Whindersson Nunes, he's very good at finding openings. He stays there patiently against Philippek. He stays there, he waits for the openings, he throws nice. He threw very well selected shots against Philippek. That's another pro. He throws well selected shots, and he throws them in combos. But, his cons is sometimes he can be quite flat-footed when he's standing there. He knows when to stick and move, but there is times he can be flat-footed, and Kenny, with the more experience, might be able to take advantage of that. Kenny being longer reach than Philippek will be able to take advantage of that. He doesn't really move his head sometimes. At least he did when he started getting into it, but at the start, if he's a slow starter, King Kenny could really just use the jab and not let him actually pick up the pace and do that. And obviously, it's just lack of experience. He doesn't have as many fights as Kenny. Kenny has now had 5 fights, I believe. That was Whindersson Nunes' second fight. Too well. So it all comes down to Whindersson Nunes, natural talent, yes. King Kenny, experience, reach, height, all of that. And I do think that this will be a competitive fight. I do think this fight does heavily rely on what kind of King Kenny we get. If we get the King Kenny who's hesitant, I think Whindersson Nunes takes it because Whindersson Nunes likes to put the pressure on. But if we get the King Kenny that was against my mate Nate, I think it will be pressure against pressure, and I think his pressure will be too much for Nunes. Now, we don't know. He might come in, he might make a few slip-ups, because when King Kenny was fighting my mate Nate, he came with pressure, he threw shots, but there was a lot of shots he overextended and threw past the head like that, which, it's kind of leaving you as an easy target, because there's nothing really blocking you, and Nunes does choose well-selected shots, so will King Kenny overextend and Nunes catches him with some? I think if that does happen, I think Kenny kind of regroups in the corner, fixes the mistakes. King Kenny is going to have to come out here on smoke, but also box. He's going to have to come out here with the killer instinct he fought against my mate Nate, but also box. He can't just come out and throw wild, because I don't think that's going to work against Nunes. I really don't. I think it will give him an advantage against him by coming forward, but I don't think it's going to 100% win you the fight if you're just not being technical about your shot selection. You have a good jab, that's your best thing. So use your jab. Don't get in too close. Just push forward. But box him from a distance while pushing forward. Just put the pressure on. You don't need to get in. You don't need to get dirty. You don't need to do all that. Whindersson Nunes, obviously, I think he just needs to work on movement. I think he just needs to work on footwork. He does have good footwork, does have good movement when it comes to it. But against a reach like Kenny's, I don't know if that's going to do the same thing he did against Philippek. So that's what I think's really going to come down to there. But lastly, I think if King Kenny does come out, and King Kenny, because one thing he has is once he beat DK Money, it was an easy fight. Then he fought Raksu, and I personally think he considered himself, I beat DK Money so easy, I could just take it easy, box in the back foot, and then, that's it. And I think he underestimated Raksu. I don't think he really thought, right, I gotta come in here and take this guy's head off. Now that he beat my mate Nate very easily, will he have that same mentality, or will experience really make him wise up? Be like, you made that mistake once, don't make it again. Come in here, kill this guy. Or are you going to be patient again? Or are you going to come in and think it's going to be an easy fight? Because I think if he thinks it's going to be an easy fight, Nunes is about to shock him. I don't know. I'll have to break down it more. I'll be doing videos on the open workouts. If they have a face-to-face, if they have press conferences, I'll do that. It is this week, so I don't know how much they'll fit in. But if they do that, I'll be doing videos on that as well. And then that will further, because I don't have a final prediction yet for any of the fights. But I will be reacting to them, and then that will help me find my prediction. But that was the pros and cons, weighing it out, Whindersson Nunes versus King Kenny. Who is going to win? That is the question. King Kenny has a lot of pros. Whindersson Nunes has a lot of pros. Whindersson Nunes obviously has cons because he's newer to the game than King Kenny, but King Kenny has the massive con, the massive flaw that has cost him before. Has he fixed that? or is it still there? That's the question. But either way, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the pros and cons. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Is there anything I said you agree with? Anything I said you disagree with? Do you think that Whindersson Nunes is as good as everybody's hyping him out to be? Do you think Kenny's going to come in here on smoke like he's saying he is? Let me know in the comments below, because I always want to hear your opinions. But as always, think positive, test negative, have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.